Hey everyone, it's your girl Miss Solomon from thedatingtruth.com. Don't forget that you can subscribe to this channel up above. And you can also follow me on Twitter at thedatingtruth. First of all, I want to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I know I haven't made a video in a very long time, and I promise that I will be making more videos more often. But for everybody who has subscribed, I am very, very grateful. Thank you so much. And if you have anything that you want to say to me, send me a message, go to my blog, thedatingtruth.com, and send me an email. I wanted to make this video today about positive attitudes because I think that there are so many attractive, well-rounded, kind, generous people out there to date that totally fuck their game up by just being miserable, downright miserable. Their attitude pretty much contributes to their attractiveness. And you've heard people say this all of the time, and you may have even said it once before. Once you talk to a person, their attractive level either goes up or it goes down. And sometimes it goes down because people have negative attitude. And that is a reason that I notice a lot of people end up being not dumped per se, but people end up fizzling out in their relationships, their courtships, because their attitude just is not positive enough. Everything is just way too heavy. And I think that when you first start dating somebody, you need to try your best to keep things light, because as they get to know you, then they'll become a part of your life and you'll be able to share problems and issues with them. But as you start dating somebody from the very start, you want to be as positive as you can, because honestly, what do you have to complain about? So I want to give you a couple tips on how I think that people are negative and what they can do about it. So the first way I find that people can be very negative is being argumentative. Everybody likes to argue, but these days, between Google and Wikipedia, you can easily find out if you're right about something. There's no need to have an argument. If somebody thinks that, this song was a #1 hit and you don't, just Google it. Just pull out your smartphone, get to the bottom of it. If you need to prove yourself right with proof. Do not prove yourself right with an argument, because an argument just means that the person you're arguing with will feel less positively about you by the end of the argument. If you get into an argument, or if you find yourself beginning to get into an argument, try to diffuse it, because it's not worth it. It's really not. It's better to just say, you know what, you're probably right. I'm sure we could look it up, but let's just move on to something else. Let's just have a good time. Do you find yourself eager to disagree? Do you find yourself often disagreeing? Is it hard for you to see someone else's perspective and someone else's point of view, or do you just believe that how you feel is right and how they feel is wrong and you need to tell them about it? All of those perspectives come from a place of negativity. The fact is, we are all entitled to our own opinions, and we all have them. Anytime somebody says something that you don't agree with, there's no need to say you disagree. You can state your point, one, without making it known that, oh, I think you're wrong. And two, you can easily move on to another subject. There's no need to argue. We have Google, we have Wikipedia. You can find the facts out like that, and there's no need to stretch out a conversation any longer than it has to, because at the end of any argument, one person's going to feel right and the other person's going to feel bad, and that's it. So another way I find that people can be very negative is by complaining. How many times have you wanted to tell this story of you being done wrong? You waited too long in a line. Somebody messed up your order. You had poor customer service. I mean, we all go through situations in life that are just downright irritating, but we all don't have to share them with everybody, because honestly, people might not care. And when you're complaining, it really just sounds like you're ungrateful. Life is tough. There are people dying. There are people with cancer. There's starving babies in Africa. your 20-minute wait at McDonald's is not that important. And the thing is, it's not that you can't share your story. It's not that I don't want you to talk about what happened in your day and what happened to you, but you have to limit it to a point where you're saying as many positive stories and sharing as many positive experiences as negative ones. And so many people get used to complaining. I hate this. I can't stand that. I don't do this. And telling the negative side of themselves without sharing the things that they love and the things that they like, and saying, you know what, I love when I go to this place because I always get the best service. They're so nice to me. And there are so many positive things that happen in most of our lives that those should be the stories and experiences that we share. And people say, oh, I'm not complaining, I'm just telling you. Well, honestly, what's the difference? The third way that people can be very negative is becoming angry. Infuriated. When little things irritate you, when little things bother you or get under your skin, when you feel like people spoke to you in a certain way, were disrespectful, were rude, when you're easily irritated, that means that you're suffering from negative feelings you have not dealt with. So when these situations arise and remind you of past situations, you become easily irritated. You become angry. Now, honestly, nobody wants to date anybody that's angry because it's scary. But nobody wants to date a person that is not emotionally mature. And emotional maturity is about dealing with your emotions and keeping them appropriate for the situations that you deal with in life. Getting excessively angry, overly angry, pissed off, cussing, swearing, being completely, livid over tiny, small situations makes other people uncomfortable. Have you ever been with somebody who just instantly got into a funky ass foul mood and you just didn't know what to do? I mean, you can't talk them out of it. You don't want to say, oh, maybe you're overreacting, because that might get them even more upset. And it's just uncomfortable. You don't want to make the person you're dating feel uncomfortable, okay? If you cannot handle your emotions, you need to ask yourself, why does this bother me? One, why does it bother me? And two, why do I feel comfortable expressing this level of anger or irritation with somebody that I don't know very well? So I suggest that you really get a grip on your emotions. If things easily irritate you, if things easily bother you, if you find yourself pissed off, mad about silly little tiny shit, like waiting in a line or getting bad service, or things that we all hate, but we can't just turn into the Incredible Hulk and scream and yell at everybody because we didn't have things the way that we wanted them. Yeah, it sucks and it's not great, but we still have to think about making our date and keeping our date comfortable. So learning how to manage your anger and learning how to manage your irritation when you're on a date, with your date, around your date, is a good way to stay positive. So I don't want you to think that I'm just encouraging you to be happy all the time and to go around, smiling and passing out flowers and kissing babies and acting like life is nothing but a box of chocolates or a bowl of cherries. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that check your attitude. Really, check yourself. Because so many people are walking around with funky, stank, terrible attitudes. They're snapping at people, complaining all the time, being negative, being argumentative, being easily irritated and quick to anger for no good reason. And people don't want to date anybody like that. They want to date people they have a good time with. And you're not a good time if all you do is act miserable and unhappy and like you're being inconvenienced. And if your date feels that way, they're not going to take you out again, because those are the opposite attitudes of being grateful and being thankful and telling your date, thank you for sharing your time with me. I had a really great time. And it's not easy to say that if somebody is making you feel uncomfortable with their negative energy and their negative attitude. And I just really want you to be aware of how you're coming across. Ask your friends if you're negative. Record yourself having a conversation. Really take some personal inventory and just check yourself. Thank you for watching. Don't forget you can subscribe to this channel up above, and you can also follow me on Twitter at The Dating Truth.